Hi everyone, welcome to Virtual Connections. I'm Dristy from the Division of Student Affairs. Before we begin, go ahead and type in your names in the comments so we can mark you down for attendance and so you can be entered into our $500 book scholarship. With us today, we have Campus Activities and Recreation, Care Team, Office of Disability Services, the Rhatigan Student Center, and Student Conduct and Community Standards. Each of our guests will be presenting to you all about their departments, and then we can go over questions at the very end. Feel free to comment the questions you might have as we go through each presentation, and we'll be sure to answer them. Alrighty, let's begin.
Hi folks, as Dristy said, my name is Tia Hill. I'm an assistant director in the Office of Campus Activities and Recreation. And our department offers a lot of great opportunities for you to engage both in, on, and around campus. I was actually just coordinating with a charter company earlier for a bus trip to Worlds of Fun. So we do a lot of active and engaging events and activities to help connect your student, but also give them a place where they belong and they can feel like they have a group of friends and make meaningful relationships while they're here at Wichita State. Go ahead. So in doing and shaping the student experience for all of our shockers, we do that in a couple of different ways. We host events, we have programs, we have sporting activities, we manage several facilities, and we have ways for your students to join in some of those experiences by either participating in one of our sports clubs or joining our student activities council and helping to plan events. So, and that's where I will start today. If we can go to the next page, we'll talk about the events that we host. So as a department, Campus Activities and Recreation coordinates over 100 different events and activities that students can engage in throughout the year. And those range from kicking off our year with Back to School Bash to a beach party. We give away prizes at our big bingo. We coordinate and collaborate with a lot of departments and community agents to make all of these experiences happen. So if your student ever says, there's nothing to do on campus, then send them to us at Campus Activities and Recreation, and we'll be able to connect them with all of the experiences and events that we offer. Next slide. So when we think of programs, we have a lot of initiatives and functional areas that we work with. So I specifically work with activities, planning a lot of those events you saw on the previous slide, but we also have an aquatics department that manages our indoor pool. We have a program downtown, which is really a running business that students help coordinate called Boats and Bikes, where students and community members can rent out bicycles, kayaks, canoes, and have a great experience out on the Arkansas River. And we do F45, which is a high interval intensity training program. We have intramurals, so students can if they're one, if maybe they were in softball or they played football or they're just athletic inclined, and they want to continue that while they're at Wichita State, they may consider joining like a flag football team or sand volleyball and doing those intramurals. They'll meet and connect with people and get out their little competitive side too. Shocker Rowing is a varsity rowing team, both men's and women's. And we also have students who, if they've never been in a boat before, but they want to try something new, they join our rowing team and they get to travel and compete with other groups across the nation. Our sport clubs are just as you think. We have our flag football, we have rugby, we have, even a Quidditch team if you are nerdily inclined. And then last on this group is our Student Activities Council, which is a group of student leaders that plan and administer a lot of the events that we talk about. So next slide. So this list right here kind of captures what you might experience in sport clubs as well as intramurals. And all of these activities, especially our intramurals, are reffed and officiated by students. So we offer about 100 student employment opportunities, from officiating to scorekeeping to refereeing to equipment maintenance to our guest services associates. So all of those employees help manage and support these programs as well as our department as a whole. But you can check out our pickleball courts. You can play a pickup game of basketball. We have a lot to offer for any student who wishes to be active on campus. Next slide. So this next slide is about the facilities that we manage. So in all of this, we have the spaces and places to support the things that our students want to do. So I talked about boats and bikes downtown. We have a circuit room on campus. We have a diving well, lap pool, our gymnasium. We have both outdoor and indoor spaces for folks to practice on. Our flag football and soccer, they're on our outdoor fields. We have outdoor courts for pickleball. And then we have our gymnasium where people might play badminton. So a lot of great spaces. And then if you're curious about the YMCA, that is run separately than our department. So if students want to work out or join a group fitness class, those can all be done through our campus YMCA, which is located across the street from the Heskett Center, which is where we're housed. Last slide. So in joining, we have a lot of opportunities for students to meet and connect with each other. Our Student Activities Council is a group of student leaders plus about 30 students who help plan and manage a lot of the events on campus. You could become a sport official. You could join an intramural team. You can even try out for Shocker Rowing or any of our sport clubs, but there's a lot of ways for you to join and gain that sense of belonging here at Wichita State through any of the things that we offer. Last slide. So campus activities and recreation, you can visit us and learn more at wichita.edu/CAR. You can also connect with us through our social media channels, which are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we hope to connect with you in the fall. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, Ash, you're muted.
Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, start over. My name is Ashlyn, and I am with Care Team here at WSU. And I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about what Care Team is, what we are not, how we can help, and how you can get in touch with us. So what is Care Team? So here at WSU, our Care Team provides proactive and supportive approach to prevention, assessment, and intervention for situations that might interfere with a student's full potential, safety, or well-being. What that means is that we are a triage service. We help to provide wraparound supports for students by connecting them to long-term supports on campus or in the community. If you have a concern about yourself, a friend, or a fellow peer, you are always welcome to reach out to us, because here at Care Team, we are here to support you. And so some of the common things that we hear from students while they're here at WSU and just the college experience in general are kind of listed here for you. So a lot of students report financial stressors, mental health concerns, transition issues, right? Connecting with others, as we just heard, physical health concerns, and academic struggles. And so these are all some of the things that Care Team can help students with by getting them connected to the proper resource on campus. And an important note that I just want to add here is always remember to update your emergency contact information in Banner every semester. Nothing is worse than if you have an accident or something happens and we're not able to contact your family or close friends to let them know that you're okay and where they can find you, just in case anything happens. So definitely make sure to update that. So finally, how can you report to us? How can you get in touch with us? We've got a lot of different ways that you can get a hold of us. So like I said, you can submit a care report for yourself, for a buddy who is a WSU student to get some short-term support to those long-term resources. You can submit one at our main page, kind of a little picture there for you. That's wichita.edu/care. You can also go to our wichita.edu/report it page. You can also give us a call. You can come to our office. Pretty much there's always a way you can get in touch with us if you need. And definitely don't wait until it's too late. You know, we all know that life can be stressful. We know college can be stressful. And we all need a little support from time to time. So if you have a question, if you have a concern, always reach out to us because we're here to help support you along your journey. So, what Care Team is not. This is a pretty important slide as well. While there's many things that Care Team can help with, a lot of the daily stressors, there's also some things that separate us from other departments on campus. So the first is Care Team is not an emergency or crisis service. If a friend is in danger for themselves or others, you want to reach out to 911 or you can reach out to our university police station. We also have a mental health service called ComCare that is 24 hours here in Wichita. If you're looking for counseling services, such as wanting to talk to a therapist or a licensed provider, you want to reach out to our CAPS Counseling Center, also here on campus, to provide that support. We also have a community provider that you can find other various treatment centers, other therapists, all using your zip code, so you can use it anywhere. Another important note is Care Team is not confidential. What that means is we are mandated reporters. So we report to our Title IX here on campus regarding domestic violence, sexual assault, or abuse. If you are wanting to talk to someone who is a confidential source, that's going to be our CAPS counseling or a licensed provider in the community. Because remember, here at Care Team, we work with various departments around campus to promote well-being and the safety of our students. So if you have any questions, if you're worried about yourself or a peer, or you just need someone to point you in the right direction, feel free to reach out to us. We have a main email up at the top. Our main office is located in the Rhatigan Student Center, second floor, room 231. You can also give us a call at our main office. And of course, follow us on all of our social medias. And remember, you are not alone in this journey, and we are here to help you every step of the way. So we're so glad you're here.
Again, please do use the Care Team. We work with them a lot, and they're a great program. By the way, my name is Isabel Medina Kaiser, and I am the Director of Disability Services here at Wichita State University. Next slide, please. So basically, who is disabled under the Americans with Disability Act? Basically, it's a person who is either an individual who has a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits their major life activities, has a record of such a disability, or is regarded as having a disability. These life activities include but are not limited to learning, working, walking, breathing, hearing, seeing, and additional to many other physical or sensory functions, including focus. So that's part of the reason why ADD or ADHD is also considered a disability. Again, if an individual qualifies as being disabled, accommodations can be put in place to address his or her specific need. Just wanted to talk about some of the disabilities. One could be learning. Some of the areas that might be part of the disability is anything from dyscalculia, which is basically a disorder of math. Dysgraphia, dyslexia, it could be long-term memory, it could be short-term memory, it could be spelling disorders or even writing disorders. Could be medical issues, could be a temporary type of thing. Let's say you are riding on your skateboard and you go boom and break your arm that you write with. We can help with some accommodations that way. It could be cancer, it could be cerebral palsy, it could be Crohn's disease, it could be diabetes, it could be MD, it could be quadriplegic, those kinds of issues. Could also be psychological issues, could be, as I stated before, ADHD or ADD, could be anxiety disorder, autism, could be depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, and traumatic brain injury. And again, this is definitely a resource for you would be CAPS if you're needing help with any kind of psychological issues. Could also be things like hearing, speaking, seeing. If you're a person who is deaf or hard of hearing, could be that you have a speech disorder or some type of a vision disability. So basically the accommodation process, and right now we're in the middle of going between a program called Maxient and going on to AIM. So right now what you would do is just email us at our disabilityservices@wichita.edu to request an intake meeting. That would be either via Zoom, which kind of makes it easy because then your parents can be part of the meeting if you would like to have them part of it. Then we just have you meet with our intake specialist, and then they'll email you a list of questions, and then you will respond, and then we get documentation from you about your disability, and then they'll set up an intake meeting with you. If you're already connected with our office, all you need to do is register to just email us and say that you would like continuing services for the next semester. And again, at disability.services@wichita.edu. Some of the accommodations that may come up for you could be things like extended time on your testing and distraction reduced in testing environment, especially if focus is an issue. Could be a private testing room. It could be rest breaks during exam, use of a computer, use of a calculator, especially if you are a student with the diagnosis of dyscalculia. It could be flexibility with exam and due dates. That's typically for students that have medical issues. We also have accommodated testing that is done through Wichita State University testing services, which is just the floor above us. Could be classroom accommodations. It could be the need for a sign language interpreter. It could be that you're needing a specialized ADA table. It could be that you need reserved seatings. It might be ability to leave the classroom. Could be that you're needing a service animal, or perhaps maybe you're having diabetic episodes and you may need to go out and take medication. One issue that always needs to be addressed is emergency evacuation, especially if you're a student that utilizes a wheelchair. There are academic type of accommodations and non-academic. Some of the academic accommodations would be priority class registration. And again, that's usually for students who have medical issues that maybe their disability really kicks up in the morning or in the afternoon. Could be reduced course load. Could be a substitution for foreign language requirements. Could be a non-academic type of thing like emergency evacuation assistance, a single room if you're having some issues as far as housing. Could be an emotional support animal. We are also giving, it used to be golf cart rides, now it's a van. We need to actually name the van so that we can have a little cute catchword for that. But the van basically provides the ability for students to be able to get assistance going from classroom to classroom or from their perhaps their dorm to their classroom between the hours of 8 to 5, and especially if they have some kind of a medical or physical issue that kind of limits their ability to get around. That's about it on that part. Could be accommodations for practicums, internships, and clinicals. We're really pushing that. My office, or at least my whole attitude is, yes, provide accommodations during the time that you're taking classes, but you also need accommodations for practicums, internships, and clinicals. Accommodations don't end when you leave high school. It doesn't end when you leave college. In fact, you do get accommodations in the workplace. So this is just one way for y'all to get used to having accommodations in the work world. Could be that maybe the structure of the environment needs to be changed. Could be making sure that your internship person is communicating with you, giving you directions in the way that you need it. It could be that maybe you need verbal and written directions. Again, talking about supervision methods and what your person who is supervising you will need to do with you in order to make sure that you're communicating and getting the accommodations that you're needing. Again, this information is confidential. It will not say something like, oh, engineering degree with accommodations. It's not going to say that. We do not tell your professors what the disability is. That's up to you if you wish to divulge that. Again, it's a confidential information. Our records stay with us. Most important thing to talk about is transitioning. I know that as a student going from high school into college, for myself, it was a great transition, making sure that, number one, as a student in college, you're the one that has to advocate for yourself. We will advocate for you, but it's so important that you communicate with our office and other offices to ensure that you're getting your accommodations being met. I've said this before in other meetings, but I become the mama bear if you don't get your accommodations. But you need to let me know what's going on. And it's really important that during this summer that you take that time to learn how to wash your own clothes. I had a student who was struggling with that, and the parents called me. And it turned out that the young man was buying clothes at Walmart, but the parents didn't know what was going on, and it was because he did not know how to wash clothes. So just, do some of those things now that it's the summer so that the transition is not going to be hard for you. Some of the things that you can do to get involved with our office. We just started up the College Diabetes Network. It's in the process of becoming a club. One of my students was willing to take that on. I've been trying to get that together for about 3 years, and now we have that program. We have a Disability Honor Society. You have to have a 3.0 GPA in order to be part of that. We also are always hiring work-study positions. You can find those jobs on Handshake. We also always need volunteer note takers. So basically you would be taking the notes for a student that may have troubles processing as far as note takers. Typically, though, on the note taker part, we also provide smart pens to our students so that they can record the class. It also records what you're writing. We're also in the process of starting up a mentoring program. So if you're a student who's interested in mentoring a student with a disability, that is also a way that you could become involved with our program. Our ODS contact information, we're located at Grace Wilkie Room 203. Yes, I know it doesn't make any sense that we're on the second floor as a disability program, but we will be moving very soon, I'd say within the next 2 years, to a new program. That's soon. And to a new building that will be on the first floor. So we're really excited about that. Our phone number is 316-978-3309. Our email is disability.services@wichita.edu. And below is our website. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Vanessa Bell. I'm the Director of Marketing for the Rhatigan Student Center, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the various departments located within our building. Next slide, please. Okay, perfect. So we're the student union of Wichita State University. We are actually an affiliated corporation of the university. We've got our own HR, our own marketing, our own financial operations. So we are not like a state building, state department. We've got departments under the RSC umbrella and departments that are under the state umbrella housed in this building as well. It's a place to eat, study, gather, shop, bowl, more, get involved, all the things. We employ approximately 30 full-time staff, and at any given time, about 50 students work for us. And then I've got a little video about our history, if you can play that, Kaylee. Can you guys hear it? I can't hear it on my end. If not, it's not necessary. We can skip it if need be, Kaylee.
I can play it if you want me to pull it up separately. I didn't.
That's okay.
We'll do that real
We
quick.
won't worry about it. On to the next is fine. You can skip it, Kaylee. Don't worry about it.
We're proud of our organization and who we are today. Hi, welcome to the Rhatigan Student Center. We're proud of our organization and who we are today.
Kaylee, I'm not able to hear it on my end. Can we just go ahead and move to the next slide?
Okay, sorry about that. We'll go back to the presentation then.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So the Shocker store is housed in the Rhatigan Student Center. So that's the official store of Wichita State University, like for Shocker gear, dorm and school supplies, medicine, textbooks. We have two main campus locations. So the one in the Rhatigan Student Center, and then the one in Brayburn Square, which is on the 21st and Oliver end of campus. And then we also manage the game day stores in Coke Arena and X Stadium. The one in the Rhatigan Student Center is the only one with textbooks, however. The other ones are all just like Shocker gear. The Shocker store has an awesome rewards program where you can get cash off purchases. You can sign up online and earn points by shopping online, even on textbooks, or you can sign up in store with your Shocker ID. It adds up super quick. So be sure to do that if you're buying textbooks or Shocker gear in the fall. So we're also the official outfitter of WSU commencement, like regalia, stoles, diploma frames, things like that. So keep that in mind in the future. And then we have textbooks, like I said. So those are in the lower level of the Rhatigan Student Center Shocker store, and they're offered in various forms depending on what your professor adopts. They could be available new, used. You can rent them. We have digital and access now, and that's a digital subscription service that your textbook and course materials are in your Blackboard. So lots of different options depending on your courses. Next slide. Okay, Shocker Sports Grill and Lanes. It's located in the lower level of our building. It's got bowling, billiards, darts. They have great pizza, burgers, sandwiches, salads, and appetizers. They also have a great rewards program. It's a new one called SSGL Perks. So you can sign up for that at the register. You just punch in your phone number on their little point of sale screen. And the rewards that you can redeem change every once in a while, like a free drink when you hit a level or $5 off your purchase, things like that. Heavy user right here of that rewards program. And then in the Shocker Sports Grill and Lanes, we offer group rates for on-campus and off-campus groups. We have kids' birthday parties. And yeah, they're open late. So if you're ever in the building and you don't see one of the main floor dining options open, check downstairs because they're open a lot later than the food court. So we're also home to our Shocker Bowling program. We are the most successful collegiate bowling, I say we, program in the country. The men's team has won 12 national championships and the women's team has won 10. With the most recent being 2 years ago, there was a Shocker sweep where both teams won the same year. And last year in the 21-22 season, 52 student athletes were a part of the Shocker Bowling program. And just a fun fact, director of Shocker Bowling, Mark Lewis, competed in the Olympics for the U.S. The 1 year that bowling has been in the Olympics, he competed for the United States team. And he's also a Shocker Bowling alum as well. Okay, event services. So our event services office schedules a large portion of WSU's indoor and outdoor spaces, meeting rooms. Sorry about that. Reservations can be information tables, meetings, conferences, weddings, all the things. Students can reserve space for free for WSU related meetings and events. So if you've got a study group that you want to work together on a presentation, if you have an organization meeting, you can reserve that space for free. And then it doesn't say this on there, but if you want to reserve it for personal use, like if you want to host a baby shower or something, you get a discounted rate on that as well if you host it in one of the meeting spaces. So the event services staff sets up and tears down these events space for you, like the tables and chairs. They'll do all that. You just let the event coordinators know what you need. And then we also have one meeting room a day that's reserved as the designated study room for that day. So it's a room that remains unlocked and open all day, quiet shared space for students to study if you're not wanting to study in the loud main levels of the RSC. You can look for the designated study room for that day. Okay. And then just additional services, Shocker Card Center's in the building on the first floor. So that's where you will get your ID if you haven't gotten it already. We do have a hair salon located in the lower level. He's been here for about as long as I've been alive, 30 some years working here. And then the Campus Credit Union actually just moved into our building as well on the first floor near the Shocker Card Center. So WSU Dining is located in this building. So they're in charge of the main food court. So we've got Panda Express, Freddy's, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, and then we have a new concept coming in the fall that serves breakfast all day. So details coming for that. Big fan. So student engagement, advocacy, and leadership is in this building, and Office of Diversity and Inclusion and Student Affairs. So all of those are located on the second floor, the south end of the building, kind of off the parking lot. And that's definitely our area of the building to get connected, meet people, get involved. Yeah, so that's the RSC in a nutshell. Hope to see you in the fall.
Hi, everyone. My name is Liz Thornton, and I'm here with Student Conduct and Community Standards. I have to move my screen a little bit so I can do both, but you can go to the next slide. So what I am going to talk about today is what Student Conduct and Community Standards is, as well as what happens if you have to come and talk to me, how you can get involved with my office, and how you can get connected. So I am a visual learner, so I like to see pictures, but this is my office. The three of us all work here in Student Conduct. Yeah, go ahead to the microphone. So what we do here on campus is we are responsible for upholding and enforcing university behaviors and expectations. In a nutshell, that means that we are here to make sure that all of our students are safe and they're understanding the rules and the policies that we have here on our campus. My process is educational and administrative. It is not punitive. So my role is not to get you in trouble. My role is to really help you learn and grow from an experience you may have had. I focus on your rights as a student, and I design outcomes to help foster learning and development and to help you get back on that right track. What I tell all of my, can you go back, please? Thank you. What I tell all of the people that I talk to and all of the students who are coming to join the Shocker family is I have 5 rules to being a successful Shocker. The first one is to do your work, and only the way your professor told you to do it. Don't lie, don't violate the law, don't be mean, and don't be creepy. You can follow those 5 simple rules. You will be a very successful person here at WSU as well as in life. Okay. You can go to the next one. So what do you do if you have to meet? So you get a letter from me and something may have happened and now you don't know what to do. So first step, take a breath. It is not the end of the world. Come to the meeting that I have scheduled with you. So I will send you an email. It will have a date and a time and maybe a Zoom link for you to come and meet with me. If that time doesn't work with you, just reschedule. Just don't skip your meeting. Please don't skip your meeting. Be open and honest with me. I am just trying to understand what happened. I want to get as much information as I can, and I want to help you or any of the people who are involved with this incident really understand what may have happened. And then finally, stay in communication with me. I will be sending you emails. I may be requesting more information or anything like that. And I just want to make sure that I can talk to you and that you respond. So that's, what we do in a nutshell, right? But there's another side. Most people see my office as just I get sent to see Liz. Whereas there's also another way that you can get involved, not just when you have to. So we have our academic integrity committee and our student conduct boards. This is a student group that works with faculty and staff to sit in on our hearings that may be conduct related or academic integrity related and help them understand what may have happened, ask questions, and kind of have your voice heard as a student into the next points of our process and into what the student code of conduct might look like. To be on this board, there is training. I will teach you how to be a hearing officer, how to understand the academic integrity policies and the current student code of conduct. You will get to sit on those academic integrity hearings as well as student conduct hearings and determine appropriate outcomes for those students. So you will get to be there. You'll get to ask them questions, talk about what may have happened. You'll get to read the report and really get to be a student voice when a student has to go to a hearing. And then finally, you get to help rationalize what decisions you and the 2 other people on the committee have made. So you get to help complete all of the forms with me and really learn and understand what my process is. This is a really amazing thing if you are going into law school, education, or anything that you may have to understand these processes. And I would love to have more students on my board. You can go to the next slide, please. So if you are interested in being on the Academic Integrity Committee or the Student Conduct Board, you are welcome to reach out to me. This is my email here, or you can just, I will be sending out more information about how to get involved with those things in the next couple of months. Like once you get into school, it'll be in Shocker Blast, and you'll see my face a lot at those kinds of things. But I would love to get to know you and to help you get to have your voice heard here on our campus and have an impact on keeping your degrees valid and keeping your campus safe. You can go to the next one. So that is all I have for my presentation. I know it is now time for questions, comments, concerns, and my always favorite is an emotional outburst.
All right, let's bring everyone back in. Thank you all for your really informational presentations. We will go through a few questions. Let me go through here real quick. All right. So the first one, let's start with campus activities and recreation. Are the events free to WSU students?
Yes, so most of our events and programs are completely free to students. Some exceptions may include large-scale events like concerts or road trips that have just an increased rate to them. And so we usually ask like a minimal expense from the student back. So like this Worlds of Fun road trip I am planning right now. We'll probably ask about anywhere between $20 to $30 for the student. We'll cover the cost of like the transportation and a portion of their ticket, and then they'll cover the rest of that. So it just depends on the program, but majority of our back to school bash is free. Our live entertainers are free. So majority of all the experiences are free to students.
All right. The next question is, what kind of jobs are available at the Rhatigan Student Center? So Vanessa, I think that one's for you.
Sure. Yeah. So like I said earlier, we've got 50 students working at any given time, and we post jobs throughout the year. wichita.edu/RSCHR. If you're looking for job opportunities, check back throughout the year. We open them up as they come open. So types of jobs that we offer. So anything from like the Shocker store, they have retail clerks, I believe they're called, doing the cash registers and helping customers. Shocker Sports Grill and Lanes, you can be like a kitchen helper or a guest service student out front. I have various students in our office, like a marketing coordinator student and graphic design students. We've got finance students if you're a finance major. Building managers. So those are our event staff that set up and tear down events. So yeah, we have a lot of different students. You get a discount on your textbooks and food in the building if you work for us. So that's kind of a bonus. But like I said, RSCHR, wichita.edu/RSCHR.
I think to that, Vanessa, there's a lot of other departments in the RSC that also have student employment opportunities. So like you might be a student assistant in Office of Diversity and Inclusion or SEAL. So any of those other departments, and those jobs can be found on Handshake, which is through the Campus Career Accelerator Department.
And he is correct, because Dining Services also has their own hiring. But I would check their office, which is room 235.
Yes. If you go to wichita.edu/careers, you'll be able to go to Shocker Career Accelerator, they can help you with any sort of job-related stuff, which Tia mentioned Handshake, so they kind of help you with that as well. So that's a great resource to have if you're interested. The next question is for Office of Disability Services. So how do I get access to ODS services?
Again, you can contact us by our phone number. Again, that was 316-978-3309, or you can email us at disability.services@wichita.edu. That is the best way to connect with us. And that was 978.
We'll get it back up there. All right. So the next question we have is, I think this is another one for you, Isabel. What type of documentation of the disability do I have to provide for accommodations?
Okay. So if perhaps you were getting accommodations in K through 12, you would have been on a 504 or an IEP, which is just basically an individual education plan. We would need a copy of the 504 and or the evaluation. Let's say you have diagnosis of ADD or ADHD or anything medical, we would need a documentation from your doctors stating about the diagnosis. What we have been seeing a lot of is a lot of our students are showing up and they didn't struggle so much in high school, but when they came into college, it's like, oh my God, I have to read 3 books for one class. Yikes. And so then they start realizing, oh my God, I have some types of learning disability, like dyslexia, that type of stuff. And so there are programs in the community that can do some of those evaluations. CAPS can do some of those evaluations, and then WISE Clinic can also help with some of those other issues that might be kicking up as far as learning disabilities. But yeah, if you could just get documentation to us, that's the first thing that we'll need.
Thank you. All right, this is another one for you, Tia. Is there a limit to the amount of clubs and sports a student can join?
So no, there is not a limit, but I'm sure Ashlyn and other folks can chime in. It's really up to the student to determine their limit, and if it is impacting their grades, their social life, or their connection with family or whoever, then maybe they need to take a step back. I've known students that have, focused all their energy on one student organization because they work full time and go to school. And then I've had other students that work full time, are student leaders in at least 3 or 4 other student organizations and just excel at managing their time. But at the point that it starts impacting their grades, and that may be a cause to take a step back. But we encourage students to find their connections in those organizations and develop some great skills that will help them along their careers. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Ashlyn, I think this one's for you, for care team. So sometimes students are a little bit, I guess, what's that process like? It can be, depending on their situation, how do they get started with reaching out to you, and how does that look?
Yeah, definitely. So like I said, kind of in my presentation, there's tons of different ways that we get reports. Some of the reports can come directly from the student, from you. You can go to our main office, stop by at the RSC, room 231. You can also give us a call at 316-978-3149. We also, because we work with various departments across campus, we will get reports from faculty, from staff, from fellow students and peers. So pretty much we have the motto kind of see something, say something, right? And so if you see somebody struggling or you know somebody who is, you're always welcome to reach out to us. You can submit reports at our main website, again, wichita.edu/care, and click submit a concern. You have the ability to remain anonymous if you would prefer. We're very well versed in, navigating those conversations when we need to. And the process, again, it's relatively simple. There's no right or wrong. No one's in trouble. It doesn't cost anything to use our service, and we don't share any information that's not a need to know, again, for that safety and that well-being. And so just if you have a question, feel free to reach out to us, get in touch with us, and we can kind of talk more and get you connected where you need to be.
Thank you, Ashlyn. All right, so this one is, how do you learn about all the involvement opportunities on campus? Like, is there a place to go for all of these involvement opportunities?
Yeah, so our folks who couldn't be here today in the SEAL department, which is Student Engagement, Advocacy, and Leadership, they oversee all of the student organizations on campus, which is about 200 of those. And those student organizations vary from extracurricular to faith and spirituality, to political, to special interest. There's really an experience for everybody. But if you're looking to browse that list of student organizations, you can do that at shockersync.org. www.wichita.edu. And from that platform, you can type in keywords. Say if you wanted to type in sociology or social sciences, then it would bring up any student organizations that have those keywords as part of their descriptions, or you can just browse through the entire list. Beyond just our student organizations, we also offer fraternities and sororities at Wichita State. And if you have a young lady at home who is maybe just interested in learning more about sorority life, sorority recruitment will take place in September. And then there's a registration process if they would like to go through formal recruitment. And if they do that, they'll be paired with a recruitment mentor who is an experienced student leader in sorority life, and they'll be able to walk them through the process and get them acclimated with recruitment. And then our folks in our Multicultural Greek Council and our National Pan-Hellenic Council, which serve our traditionally fraternities and sororities for persons of color. And those are, they have a recruitment event usually in the second week of campus where you can go and meet each of those student organizations. And then I believe it's the Tuesday now, the second Tuesday in the semester, there is an involvement fair. And so you'll get to meet and mingle in person with some of those student organization leaders on campus.
Thank you, Tia. All right, I think we got one more question. This is for Liz. What are the most common violations that you see in your office?
Absolutely. So my office handles all academic integrity violations. So we see a lot of academic integrity come through my office. So that's probably the biggest one. But we also handle things that happen in the residence halls. So some of our most common violations that we see in the residence halls are underage alcohol consumption, fire alarm violations. I like to tell people, please learn how to make popcorn and never forget to put water in your ramen noodles. Because if you can do that, then you won't set off any fire alarms. And then some of the other ones are noise policies and failure to comply. Those are our most common violations.
Thank you. Okay, I actually got one more for you that popped up. How do I report an issue that happened?
Absolutely. So we, on the Wichita State website, it's wichita.edu/report it. On that website, you can find the care team report it form, you can find the OIEC report it form, and you can find lots of other reporting forms that have descriptions of what they are. So if you don't know what kind of report you are trying to or who you need to send it to, you can just submit any of those, read those instructions, and most of them come to me. If they are in the conduct realm, they come to me and I will get them to the correct office. So when in doubt, just submit one and we will get it to where it needs to be.
Thank you. And thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to present and share some wonderful information with our upcoming shockers. And thank you to everyone who has been watching for this past hour. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to Student Affairs. You can message us on social media if you'd like. You can stop by our office. You could email us. It'd be vpstudentaffairs@wichita.edu. So many ways you can reach out to us. Feel free to do whichever you'd like. And same with these departments as well. If you have more questions for them, you can always reach out to them individually if you'd like. They'd be happy to answer any more questions. Please remember, comment your names real quick so we can add you in for a chance to win the $500 book scholarship. But other than that, I think we're wrapping it up. So thank you all.
Thank you, guys.